And welcome back to Truth, Lies and Sex Ed, our City News special. The curriculum debate has lit up on social media using the hashtag #SexEd. So MP here says Canadians aren't afraid to talk about sex anymore. Teaching kids the truth at a young age is not only okay, it is imperative. Let's go to the next one here. This is another pro tweet. If your excuse is your religious beliefs, then send your child to a religious-based school, not the public school system. Now we have some tweets that are also against here. Casey says, make it opt-in, not opt-out. Majority rules. We don't want this curriculum change. And one more here. Sex ed curriculum, I've read entirely. A lot is pure perversion. Let children be children. Too much, too soon. Disgusted. You can weigh in on this using the hashtag #SexEd. Gord.
Highly emotional issue, and there's been very disturbing byproducts over the passionate debate about what we should teach our children in school. Over to Avery Haynes now with faith now is being brought up as we address sex education in Ontario. Avery.
So many of the very vocal anti-curriculum activists, the people who we've seen front and center in the protests at Queen's Park and at schools, tend to be from the Muslim faith. On the other hand, many of those who are against this curriculum tend to have some kind of underlying homophobia attached to it, concerns about that. First, I want to show you a story that I did a little bit earlier this week, speaking about some facts that had been distributed in a pamphlet in Brampton.
I know that it's circulating in the community. I honestly don't know how widely it's circulating, but I do know that it's outrageously misinformation.
This copy has been translated from Arabic. In grade 1, children will reveal their private parts. They will see posters and flashcards of private parts. They will learn to touch the private area, identify it on themselves and on others.
It's beyond me how any parent could believe that a public education system would endorse that. It is outrageously ridiculous.
So there's no truth to that?
Absolutely none.
Children will be challenged to question their gender identity. They will play roles in which they dress and behave like the opposite gender. The teacher will encourage them to experiment being a member of the opposite gender, and if they feel comfortable, they can adopt that gender.
That is so not true. That is just not true. We certainly will be talking about same-sex families and certainly different lifestyles.
They will be asked in class to explore their body by touching their private parts, masturbating, and pleasuring their body.
Really? That will never happen anywhere, let alone a public education system.
Here's another of the so-called facts. And the response?
None of that is true. I think the prompts about the different kinds of sexual interaction, but a teacher would not be bringing that up in class. If a student were to inquire or were to ask a question, then I think a teacher has the responsibility to figure out how they're going to answer that. And so that prompt gives them that heads up.
So the last one is probably the most outrageous.